Time now for the best high school action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Robbinsville Ravens, both teams with pretty good starts to the season so far. Chris Ermer along with Rich Fisher, Brianne O'Neill, and Colin Summer bringing you the coverage of tonight's game. Steinert with 3 wins against 1 loss. So far they're winless in CVC Colonial Valley play. Robbinsville with a 5-1 start to the season. They're 2-0 in CVC Valley play. And to get our Trentonian pregame activities, well, hold on a second. Before I say hello to Rich Fisher, we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, including the New Jersey Education Association, Haldeman Ford Subaru, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow, thanks to the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office and Angelo Onofre. Capital Health System bringing you portions of today's game. Thanks to the Revere Restaurant, outstanding Italian cuisine in nearby Ewing Township, New Jersey. The Trenton Thunder on board tonight. We thank them for their participation. Thanks to the Hamilton Township Division of Health, Hyundai of Trenton, Saul Funeral Homes, the Italian People's Bakery, the Hamilton Township Education Association, thanks to the Trentonian. And again, this is the Trentonian pregame show, and also we're going to bring you our Adoptable Pets segment, and so we're looking forward to that. Rich, good evening, and looking forward to tonight's game.
Pilgrim, good to be with you, buddy. It's been a while.
It has been, yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, I saw you on Sunday.
Yeah, at the Phillies game.
At Citizens Bank Park. We were down there with the Baseball Insider show, and you happened to have tickets to that game.
I did, yep.
Awesome.
Then you were working, and I was drinking a beer, and now we're both working. So good to be with you again, pal. And you know what? It's always, this Robbinsville-Steinert game is always exciting. You're not only seeing 2 of the best teams in the conference, you're seeing 2 of the premier programs in the state, as these teams have combined for a lot of state titles over in the 21st century, really. And interesting matchup today because Robbinsville has come out and they won their first 4, but they really weren't against the best competition. They played some tough, not so tough teams, and then they had their first real test. They're in the midst of a 3-game really grind right now. They lost to a good St. Thomas Aquinas team yesterday. St. Thomas Aquinas is 6-1. Tonight they're powerful Steinert team, returning state finalists, and tomorrow they have a 6-1 Hunterdon Central team. So this is a great game for the Ravens to sort of see where they stand and, see what they need to work on and see what they need to do when they resume, CVC play next week after tomorrow. One thing the Ravens have been doing is clubbing the ball. They're hitting .409 as a team. 5 different players have home runs. They got Hallie Krebs is batting .550 with 6 RBIs. Caroline Walls at .412, 9 RBIs. Sorella Gallucci at .389. Katie Fowler, .538. Lexi Lopez, .500. Reagan Robinson, .400. Jordan Grosky, .364. It goes on and on and on. Again, that wasn't against the best pitching. So we'll see now tonight. Steinert's going to counter with a pretty good pitcher tonight. And I think Izzy's pitching. Right? Izzy Benazi's pitching, yeah. And Robbinsville has Katie Ziliani. She's 3-1, 1.22 ERA. I'm sorry. 32 Ks and 23 innings pitched. And Steinert, they only have 4 games so far. That doesn't seem like a real lot at this point of the season. They lost their opener to Notre Dame in what was a really good game. We did that game, and they were losing. They came back. They rallied in the 7th, but they couldn't quite win it. And they've gone on to win 3 straight since then, but they really haven't gotten their bat straightened out yet. They last year, they won Central Jersey Group 3, beating Robbinsville, by the way, in the semifinals last year. So this is their first matchup since the state tournament last year, when Steinert defeated Robbinsville 8-6 in the CJ semis. But this year, last year Steinert hit .332 as a team. This year they're only hitting .257. And that's very un-Spartan-like. their freshman, Bianca Walsh, is at 500, a freshman. Sierra O'Neill, 417. Isabella Benassi, 364. Abigail Mazer, 333. After that, struggling at the plate. So they really need to get that going. Benassi is having another good year in the circle. 2-1, 1.00 ERA. She's the defending Trentonian CVC Player of the Year. So, she's solid. And these two teams, when they get together, it's going to be a war. I mean, the last 5 games, I think, have been all decided by 2 runs or less. And some have been low scoring, some have been high scoring. But they know that they're both good teams. They know that this is a game for bragging rights. They know that they could very well see each other again, possibly in the county tournament, semifinals or finals. So there's always a lot riding on this game, even though it's a regular season game.
Well, and outside of the matchups and everything riding on the game, before the game, a ceremonial first pitch from a family member of one of the Hamilton Township School District teachers who has been battling breast cancer. Not well enough to come today to be here at the game, but a Robbinsville teacher. All the donations today at the snack stand and throughout are going directly to her family. And, we're striking out cancer today. And
yep.
A good two good teams and a good cause.
And a good cause, absolutely. And they do that quite a bit with these night games here at HGSA. And these are always cool games because, everybody's out of work and it's a Friday night and people don't have to get up tomorrow morning. So maybe come to a game, go out and get something to eat after. And it's usually either games between 2 township teams or a good matchup like this between, 2 premier powers. And that's what we have tonight, 2 premier powers, both coached by alums. Jen Melker, who corrected us on the Robbinsville person being honored, and Christine Levering, who won some state titles at Robbinsville in soccer and baseball, or softball. Outstanding athlete. And Lev is in her 2nd year as a head coach. It's always nice when you get alums to come back and who care about the program and who are part of the program and things like that.
Our home plate umpire, Matt Grau, and base umpire, Barry Giordano, meeting with the captains and coaches at home plate as we get you closer to the first pitch tonight. And let's take a look at starting lineups. First for the Steinert Spartans, coming in at 3 wins and 1 loss. Bianca Walsh leading off and playing second base with McKenna Spack in center field, batting second. Sierra O'Neill bats third and plays third base with pitcher Izzy Benassi in the cleanup spot. Paige Schultz bats fifth, and she is at first base tonight. Katie Simonka is their designated player. She will bat sixth with Gia DeMeglio in right field batting seventh. Brooke DeWitt in left field. She will hit eighth. Mia Pope is at shortstop, and she bats ninth tonight. Their flex player is Addison Hassan, who is catching, and that's the Steinert lineup for the Robbinsville Ravens tonight. Haley Krebs will lead off and play shortstop with Caroline Walls in center field batting second. Their pitcher, Katie Ziliani, is batting third with Sorella Galucci at third base and cleaning up. Katie Fowler plays second base, and she'll bat fifth tonight with Abby Weiss doing the catching and hitting sixth. You got Lexi Lopez in left field hitting seventh. Reagan Robinson will play first base. She hits eighth tonight, and Jordan Grodsky is the designated hitter batting ninth for the Robbinsville Ravens, and their flex player who will play right field is Ava Aldarelli, as both teams get fired up with some cheers and are just about set to take the field. Again, this is a strikeout cancer night tonight, as these two top teams, top programs in the state will set up and do battle. And our player of the game will get an Italian People's Bakery hoagie, and we'll hopefully be able to chit-chat with our player of the game right after the conclusion of tonight's action.
We love the chit-chat.
You're double dipping on WBCB today.
Yes.
You're involved in an earlier high school baseball game.
Yes, we are.
Steinert.
The point guard and I were at Robbinsville Steinert baseball earlier today, and let's hope this game is as exciting but not as long.
I would guess in between games you might have grabbed some fish food.
Yeah, a little food, I had to write a story, had to write the game up, and then, get over here. Steinert winning 9-8 on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 8th. The third time this year the Steinert baseball team has had a walk-off win via the wild pitch, which is that's a heck of a thing you can put in your arsenal there. So, yeah, so that game took over 3 hours, however, so we're kind of hoping this one doesn't go quite as long. Actually, we hope it doesn't come near as long.
Izzy Benassi getting her warm-ups in. She's in the circle and ready to go. She'll face Krebs, Walls, and Ziliani as the Robbinsville Ravens are about to get to work in the top of the first.
Yeah, we go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, make sure to stay tuned for our adoptable pet segment. That'll be coming up at the end of the second inning. I think we got one featured pet at the end of the second inning and then another featured pet at the end of the fifth inning. Or I don't know, maybe we'll feature both pets.
Yeah, I featured both during the baseball game today. Yeah. Yeah, Grim and then I forget the cat's name. Tinsel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, we talked about the Hamilton teams playing here because most of the kids from the Hamilton Township schools start in this HGSA program. But strangely, over the years, all the good ones have gone to Steinert, and the Hamilton and Nottingham programs have dwindled mightily to the point where they are co-op this year. They have joined forces, but under former Spartan Gabby Bennett, they are 5-1 as a co-op team. So that's an interesting little happening over there.
It kind of interesting dimensions here to the HGSA field as that slapped to short. Mia Pope couldn't handle it cleanly, and Krebs with an infield base hit.
Good start.
That'll bring up Caroline Walls. Walls was one of the only batters to get to St. Thomas. She had an RBI to help them plate their only run. It dimensions 200 down both the right and left field lines, but down the left field line, you have a high fence. I don't know, maybe that's a 9-foot fence out there?
If that.
7?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. You get a better gauge of it if a player's standing right up next to it, you know? Oh, you're talking about the fence over there where it says Hamilton Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you're probably right. That's probably about 9.
I mean, most of the outfield is probably 3 foot, and
Yeah.
3.5 foot.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about at first, and I looked at it, oh, wait a minute.
That's slapped foul by Walls.
Caroline
So a 3-1 count to her.
Wall's one of the veterans. They have a lot of veterans on this team. It's a very experienced Robbinsville squad.
You ran down Benassi's stats. She's got 26 strikeouts on the season. That one's just a little bit wide. And a 3-1 count at the plate. Nope, 2-2 count. The scoreboard had the count off.
Yep. Nobody fools the Pilgrim.
Well, that threw me off for a little bit as that fouled straight back. Stays 2-2.
Boy, I parked in foul ball territory when I got here. I hope these nets do their job tonight.
Well, a night where the ball might carry a little bit. The weather has been so warm. High temperatures of 87, 88 degrees. Stepping up and taking strike 3 is Wall. Leo calling for it and makes the grab. So 2 down. Up to bat now, Sorella Gallucci.
Gallucci, another masher. She's at 389.
You know, a warm day, but a beautiful night here at HGSA.
Couldn't ask for a better night. It's supposed to be a little rainy tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
That
care.
storm that drenched Fort Lauderdale making its way up here. Called strike at the plate, and thinking about the snap throw with Hassan.
We've had really great weather so far this April for the most part. Usually you get 800 games rained out already.
Or at least one or two where the temperatures are struggling to get out of the 50s.
Yeah, this was like a nice spring week this week.
So far, so good. The 0-1 pitch fouled off. And Benassi out in front. Benassi has given up just 3 earned runs this season.
Yep.
And so after giving up this leadoff infield hit, could potentially work her way out of a little first inning jam. 0-2. Up high, the runner goes the throw in time, and they got her.
What a
the tag
gun.
applied by Mia Pope. Great throw from Addison Hassan as Haley Krebs is caught stealing for the 3rd out in the top of the 1st.
Whew, that was pretty.
No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 1st. High school softball on the WBCB Sports Network. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Saul Funeral Home. Saul Funeral Home, a 4th-generation family-owned business. Did I mix this up? I think I did. Well, we want to thank Saul Funeral Home so much for their support. You can check out their website, saulfuneralhomes.com, and they go above and beyond to bring you the closure you deserve while celebrating the unique life of your loved one. Thanks again to Saul Funeral Homes for their support of tonight's game, and we will come right back as we got high school softball tonight on WBCB. Steinert coming to bat. I could have predicted I was going to do that.
What'd you do? Know your shortcomings.
Capital Health Primary Care Doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health Primary Care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. This is Merrill Reese from
The Spartans, Bianca Walsh,
A
batting 500.
freshman leading the team. And she's got good pedigree. She is the daughter of former Nottingham coach Irish Mike Walsh.
Takes strike 1 to get her at-bat started. McKenna Spack, Sierra O'Neill to follow in the bottom of the 1st.
Mike Walsh coached boys basketball and softball at Nottingham.
Ziliani that time delivering down low.
And his daughter came up through this HGSA, and Mike was her manager for a lot of the years.
The 1-1.
He doesn't.
You almost need that kind of lineage to step into this role as a freshman.
Yeah.
Come in already feeling, confident, seasoned almost.
Absolutely.
The 2-1, Ziliani in there. Defensively again for the Ravens, you got Robinson at first, Fowler at second, Krebs playing shortstop, and Gallucci at third. Lopez, Walls, and Aldarelli. Ooh, swing and a miss, got her. 1 down. And catching for Ziliani is Abby Weiss, as McKenna Spack, who has a possible opportunity maybe to play at the next level. Right now, undecided on where that might be, what kind of opportunity could present itself. Good eye there as she takes ball 1. Well, as Fish mentioned in our Trentonian pregame activities, 2 of the top programs in New Jersey.
Yep. Now, Robbinsville was for many years the beneficiary of that unbelievable youth softball league that went to a couple World Series, won a World Series, and you get that feeder system and you're in good shape.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ziliani delivers a little low and in as the lights take over. Friday night lights with high school softball on WBCB. And high school softball, high school baseball, I don't think they do enough Friday night games. Coming up on the 29th, we have Hopewell Valley and Pennsbury at the Trenton Thunder Stadium. Check swing. Robinson has it at first, and she'll apply the tag to Spack. Spack really couldn't get much on that one and just dribbled it down the line. 2 away. Here's Sierra O'Neill.
That'll be a nice game. Teams from each side of the river.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they have a tradition. They do a similar, tonight it's strikeout cancer. They do, I don't know if it's a coaches versus cancer, but it's a similar fundraiser when Hopewell Valley and Pennsbury get together. Typically it's either at one of the 2 schools, but this year they get to be at Trenton Thunder Stadium.
Only difference is Pennsbury fans got to pay a toll. You might want to look into that.
Well, you can take the free bridge, but you just got to drive a little bit further.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can go over that free bridge.
1-0 count here to O'Neill. No relation to our camera person, a little different spelling to the name. We got the point guard with us. And Colin Summer doing our video engineering. Great to have you on board tonight out there in WBCB Sports Land. The 1-1 is upstairs.
I've never heard it referred to like that before.
Well, everybody used to have a nation at one time, right? Red Sox Nation, Phillies Nation.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to WBCB Nation.
Yeah, I love that.
The 2-1 tipped into the glove of Vice, and 2-2 count now to O'Neill.
Well, it's funny because Bill James, the Steinert AD, I was asking where you guys were, and he goes, I don't really know. And he goes, that could be you over there. And he pointed to you guys. He goes, unless it's some other station. I said, oh, yeah, they're all coming in tonight. ESPN will be here.
The 2-2 popped up on the infield, calling for it, but it's popped and out of the glove. Ziliani couldn't make the grab. Safe at first, Sierra O'Neill.
Oh, my.
So an error on the pitcher.
Flat out drop. I guess she just took her eye off it at the last second. And that's a break for the Spartans. Izzy Benacy would love to make that hurt and give herself a lead.
Benacy committed to Georgian Court University. That's a landing spot I had not heard of until this winter. There were a couple of high school basketball players that were committed and recruited to Georgian Court. I mean, is that just, am I the only one? Am I like the last person to hear about this school, or is it relatively new?
Steinert had a player go to Georgian Court a couple years ago, but it just didn't work out for her. She ended up transferring back to Mercer.
The 1-0 down low.
I mean, she really had a bad experience there. I don't want to say who it is, but she had a bad experience there and went over to Mercer instead. Hopefully Izzy has a better experience there. You know, not every place is for everybody. But yeah, no, Georgian Court's been around a while. It's down by the shore.
2-0 count down low. The runner is off the throw, not in time. And into second standing, O'Neill with a stolen base. I saw a social media post that raised my eyebrow a bit. About 1,800 student athletes are now in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So you talk about athletes not having a good experience. I think there's something that's good about them having the option. 3-0 is in there for a strike. That's a lot of moving around. That's maybe more than you want.
Yeah, and it's all right, let's put it this way. It's nice to have the option, but they're at the point now where if one little thing goes wrong, they're gonna bail.
3-1 from Ziliani, up high and in, and it's a walk for Benacy. The pitch gets away from Abby Weiss, a wild pitch there, allowing O'Neill up to third. So runners at the corners now for Steinert. Little action in the bottom of the first. Looking for a 2-out rally. They're going to count on Paige Schultz. Schultz committed to Minnesota.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
To play? Is she playing there?
Got a quick moment to talk with Coach Melker, and she mentioned that Schultz. I thought it was connected to
Wow, Big Ten. That's awesome.
playing softball there too.
That is awesome.
First and third for the Spartans.
Well, Ziliani's got to calm down a little bit. I don't know. She might be a little perturbed at herself for missing that pop-up. Now she's having trouble finding the zone. And all of a sudden, a little bit of trouble here.
She starts Schultz with a strike. The 0-1 on a line right at shortstop Haley Krebs.
Ah, that's hitting into tough luck.
And they get 2 on, but Steinert unable to score. Still scoreless after 1. The Spartans with no runs. They do get no hits in the inning either. And they leave a couple of runners on base. No score so far in our strikeout cancer game between the Robbinsville Ravens and the Steinert Spartans. And we're coming back with this. No, this is my inning now.
Oh, get on it, man.
Now I'm getting the rhythm.
Get on it.
Today's game brought to you by the Hamilton Township Education Association, taking this opportunity to wish all of the students the best of luck throughout the school term and throughout the school year. Proud to support you, the Hamilton Township Education Association, and got some things coming up. The Hamilton Township School District with summer camp offerings. Registration is open. Summer camps offered to Hamilton Township residents entering kindergarten through 12th grade, and you can visit htsdnj.org to register for the Hamilton Township School District of New Jersey, htsdnj.org, and register. Also, if you're a retiree and thinking about maybe getting back into the working world, you are welcome to try full-time teaching. Positions open at the Hamilton Township School District, and you can go again to their website, htsdnj.org, to learn more about those opportunities, to stay active, stay engaged, and to pass along your lessons to the future generations.
Right. If they want to listen.
Leading off should be Gallucci still, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. Look at that. You handled that announcement and got right back to the right batter. You're on a roll, big guy.
I think they might have announced that Fowler was up. That throws me off.
Oh,
anytime there's a contradictory set of information that's out there.
I know what you mean. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Am I wrong?
Typically, that's my first thought. Or my first thought is, I'm probably wrong. So I better make sure I get my facts straight.
Preaching to the choir, pal.
Should be Gallucci to be followed by Fowler and Weiss here in the top of the second.
Good pitch.
Yeah, Coach Levering echoing what you were talking about in the Trentonian pregame show, or mentioning to me that they haven't played their toughest competition. This is a good measuring stick for them. And then they get into that Hunterdon Central, Hamilton West, Hopewell Valley kind of a grind.
Yeah. And in years past, Hamilton West would be, nothing but 5-1. I'm sure Hamilton is looking at as a really big, hey, maybe let's see what we can do against the really good teams. That'll be an interesting game.
2-2 count here to Gallucci. She got a second chance when Krebs was caught stealing. And a good eye there, takes at the letters.
Full count.
Payoff pitch, fouled back, we'll do it again. Yeah, she said for the Ravens that looking for timely hitting. They've gotten hits, but then, I mean, kind of like the Phillies, I guess, is similar. They've accumulated some hits, but haven't done it in a way that's manufactured runs.
Right.
Oh, taking something off of that one and gets Gallucci swinging. Pulls the string, and there's one down.
Yeah, you can get all the hits you want, but if they don't get them over the plate, you know, it's like going from 20 to 20 in football, missing field goals.
But again, that 5-1 record, they have been able to step up enough in big times, but feeling like that's one of the things they need, I guess, when they're talking about playing tougher competition and better teams.
Well, they'll get that. I mean, in the CVC, you're going to get it. You have Steinert and Notre Dame. They're two powerhouses. Notre Dame is going to be, you know, Notre Dame's got a D1 pitcher going to Houston with Riley Mahalik.
The 0-1 foul back. No balls, 2 strikes here to Katie Fowler.
You know, you got the CVC is a tough. That Mercer County tournament is a meat grinder.
0-2 pitch here coming from Benesi. Again, a off-speed pitch. This time a called third strike. Fowler rung up, 2 down in the top of the second. And here's Abby Weiss.
Yeah, she took a little off of that, and I think Fowler just kind of just sort of fooled her a little bit and never got the bat around.
Well, again, we welcome everybody with us tonight on the WBCB Sports Network. But Fish, a great crowd here at HGSA, a beautiful night. And you can see softball fans all around the fence. Some bleachers out there in center field, pretty well packed.
Yeah, this crowd, it's continued to grow. Like the whole time we've been here, people just keep coming in.
0-1 ground ball on a couple of bounces. O'Neal will throw in time. And a 1-2-3 inning as they get Abby Weiss on the grounder. No runs, no hits, nobody left on in the top of the second. And we're going to be back with more high school softball. Still no score between the Robbinsville Ravens and the Steinert Spartans.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Hamilton Girls Softball Association, we go to the bottom of the second. And Katie Simonka get things started for the Spartans. She'll be followed by DeMeglio and DeWitt. And a pretty good first inning by Ziliani. The only issue was she wasn't able to catch that pop-up. Kept the inning going a little bit longer than it seemed.
She was her own worst enemy. She dropped the pop-up and then she walked the batter. But got out of it. No harm done. Just threw a few extra pitches.
Mentioning the meat grinder that is the Mercer County tournament and the upcoming tough schedule for the Robbinsville Ravens. For the Steinert Spartans, they have Trenton on Monday and West Windsor Plainsboro North on Tuesday. And those games see sharply hit foul ball off on the left side. I mean, those two games fit more into that category of not facing the best competition in the area.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Maybe allows the Spartans to focus a little more intently on tonight. And for the Robbinsville Ravens, this is one of 4 tough games and pretty quick. So they have Sunday off, but besides that, there were 4 games in 5 days.
Yeah. The softball players are used to that, though. You know, they have those tournaments and travel tournaments where they're playing 3 games in a day and 6 games in 2 days. You know, For them, this is like, 4 games in 5 days. That's nothing.
1-1 pitch to Ziliani, slices just foul a few feet down that third base line. So Simonka will do it again.
I mean, that's where you make your name these days in high school softball, is in those travel leagues and things like that. That's where the scouts go, the recruiters.
1-2 pitch. Popped up on the right side. Robinson calling for it, and she's got it. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Gia DeMeglio, the right fielder for the Spartans.
Number 21, Gia DeMeglio.
Yeah, those showcase tournaments, I think it's the same thing when it comes to high school baseball, too. That
Yeah.
more interest, more recruiting action.
Well, and that's why, leagues like American Legion and Babe Ruth and Little League are all sort of crumbling because everybody's going to that route now.
Called strike there to DeMeglio. 0-1, a little bit in.
Pilgrim, you mentioned during the break the added circle behind those pitching circle, and we figured out that is the ribbon
Yes.
for fight against breast cancer.
Swing and a miss, and
Chased a high one there.
DeMeglio falls behind 1-2. Yeah, I thought that was like a separate pitching circle. Like
Yeah.
if you throw a strike from there, you get 2 strikes. The 1-2. Ooh, just a bit outside. A good eye by DeMeglio. Yeah, 3-game win streak here for these Spartans, riding it into tonight's game. Beating Allentown, Bordentown. And that time, too close to take. Called third strike. DeMeglio sits down, and there's 2 up, 2 down for Brooke DeWitt.
Yeah, the win over Bordentown, it's a good win, but Bordentown is without their ace pitcher right now.
Right.
Allison Hoppy, or Hop, however you say it, and that hurts. When the pitcher is such a part of the dynamic in softball.
Little check swing pop-up on the infield. Krebs calls for it, makes the grab. A 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the second. Still no score here in our strikeout cancer game tonight from HGSA. And we'll be right back with more action on the WBCB Sports Network. Oh, and right now, this is the moment. It's our adoptable pet
That's right.
segment. And today's game brought to you in part by Hamilton Township Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. And Fish, they said you did such a good job with this during the baseball game that we probably should have prepped you. I don't know, maybe that's part of the magic, is the spontaneity of it. But go for it, man.
I'll just wing it, man.
Go for it.
All right, for our adopted pet, our dog, our canine is Grimm. Grimm. Meet Grimm, not to be confused with Grin, which is what this sweet boy is always wearing. His smiling face, this friendly, affectionate, eligible bachelor is looking for a long-term relationship with a dog-experienced human.
A Gemini.
Yes, there you go. He's about 2.5 years old and a short and stocky 70 pounds. Like most dogs, Grimm would benefit from some training and exercise, like you, Pilgrim. This athletic guy promises to keep up with you on hikes, too. Grimm is looking for a home without small children and one where he is your one and only pet. And then we have our cat, Tinsel. Tinsel is about 2 years old. She's a little shy at first, but is curious about her surroundings. She'll need a quiet home where she can feel secure and come out of her shell. So if you're interested, contact Adopt a Pet.
Well done.
Thank you, my friend. I'm getting better each time.
Well, and really let's hope that Tinsel and Grimm find a forever home. And big thanks to the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter and Adoption Center for the work that they do. Swing and a miss. Lexi Lopez at the plate to start the top of the third. She'll be followed by Robinson and Grodsky for the Ravens.
We definitely hope they all find a home.
Yep.
And if they do, I think they should invite me over for dinner.
The 0-1 popped up short right. Back to get it. Walsh makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down. And here's Reagan Robinson getting her first at-bat.
Number 25, Reagan Robinson.
Here's a battle of length versus length. A tall pitcher and a tall hitter.
Well, what Benassi has done a really nice job of controlling her speed. She'll really get the fastball up there. Good pace on that. And I don't know if it's a spinner or a breaking pitch or just kind of an off-speed offering that has been fooling some of these Ravens batters.
Yeah, these pitchers, these softball pitchers have so many, they drop pitch and the rise ball, and there's a lot to their repertoire, and the good ones have a lot of them.
So far, Benassi has added to her strikeout total this season. She's got 3 tonight to get her up to 29. The 1-1 fouled back, and she's in front of Robinson. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yes, since yielding that leadoff single, she's retired now 6 straight.
The 1-2. There's that off-speed pitch.
Really had her out ahead in that one.
Robinson strikes out, 2 down for Grodzki.
Number 24, Jordan Grodzki.
And so that gives her 4 Ks tonight so far.
Yeah, these two teams met in the regular season last year almost a year ago to the day. I think they met April 15th last year.
But 2 teams that don't look a lot like, especially when you look at the Ravens and the change that they had in the circle. That changes the whole complexion of your team. That's up for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grodzki. Grodzki, the DH, hitting for Aldarelli, who's out in right field. Whiffs at that one. Benassi out in front again. And you can see some of these pitchers, their confidence certainly grows as they get down towards the bottom part of the lineup.
Well, I think Benassi's she's just feeling locked in right now, I think.
That time Grodzki late, couldn't keep that one in play. And count holds, 1-2. Popped up sky high, and that'll drift back behind us and out of play. Well, darkness starts to set as we get, I think we're close to sunset, right? 7:30.
Is that what it is?
Called third strike, and she gets Grodzki looking. A 1-2-3 inning for Izzy Benassi as she sets down the Ravens in order. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. Still scoreless after 2.5 innings of high school softball action from HGSA. It's our strikeout cancer game tonight on WBCB. And it's brought to you by the all-new Hyundai of Trenton. And they have cars that are priced from $2,000 all the way up to $200,000, and every price point in between. The all-new Hyundai models, pre-owned cars and SUVs from BMW, Audi, Cadillac, Ford, Chevy. Hyundai of Trenton, the inventory ready for immediate delivery. The area's newest auto dealer with cars in stock at 1655 North Olden Avenue in Ewing Township. Again, the car inventory in Mercer and Bucks County is at the all-new Hyundai of Trenton, 1655 North Olden Avenue in Ewing Township. And thanks to the Hamilton Township Division of Health for their participation in bringing you portions of tonight's game. They offer a variety of free services to keep you and your community healthy. It's important for everyone to stay up to date on recommended vaccines, whether you or a loved one needs an annual flu shot, a COVID-19 vaccine, a pneumonia shot, Hamilton's Division of Health is ready to help. If you or a loved one, if you're homebound, the division's caring nurses will bring your vaccine to you. For families that might be underinsured or uninsured, the Division of Health offers free routine vaccinations for kids. Most residents in Mercer County are able to take advantage of the free and confidential HIV, STI testing thanks to the Hamilton Township Division of Health. For being on hand tonight, making portions of tonight's high school softball happen on WBCB. First pitch strike to Mia Pope.
Mia Pope, I have to guess that her brother Jake is the shortstop for the Steinert baseball team. Or second baseman, I'm sorry. Unless you have two kids, same school named Pope that aren't related.
That could happen.
Yeah, it could.
That could happen.
Yeah, I'm not assuming anything.
The 0-2 gets her swinging.
Could be cousins.
That time Ziliani just kind of blew her away. Too much pace on that one. And Steinert to the top of the order. Here's Bianca Walsh.
Bianca Walsh.
Well, you got two pitchers now that are pretty locked in.
Yeah, that's strikeout 3 for Ziliani tonight. That time just a bit high.
A little bit, yeah.
1-0 pitch here from Ziliani.
Not just
down
a bit
in the
low.
dirt.
Yeah.
A little high, a little low.
She's going all over the stratosphere here.
She's triangulating. Well, both of these teams off to pretty good starts. Mentioned 3-1 for the Spartans. That one is fouled off on the left side. But Colin and I were talking about our disappointment with these Phillies and the preseason expectations. WBCB, we are your home on the radio dial for Phillies baseball, so you can catch the games at 1490 AM and 107.3 FM. Scott Fransky with the call. But baseball is just 2-1
well,
in their first strike.
It's a tough start, but the expectations were so high after going to the World Series last year. But I told Keith Noonan today, I go, look, last year they didn't have a great year. They had a great month.
Yeah.
And so, it's still up in the air what they're going to do for a whole season.
The 2-2 popped up foul. 2-2 count here to Bianca Walsh. Bases empty and one down in the bottom of the third.
Irish Mike Walsh told me not to hold it against her that she's his daughter, and I don't. I give her all the credit for overcoming his parenting.
The 2-2. Good eye. And a full count to Walsh.
Irish Mike, he's a good man. Vice principal now over at Nottingham.
3-2 pitch, up, ball 4. Walsh walks. Heads down to first, and stepping up to bat now, McKenna Spack.
Number 11, McKenna Spack.
Steinert doesn't have a hit yet, but that's her third base runner. First one they've gotten with less than 2 outs.
And this is a dangerous part of the Steinert lineup here. Spack, O'Neill, Benassi. Ziliani fires that one up high. Gallucci and Robinson kind of pinching in defensively at the corners. And I would think maybe, you're trying to bunt maybe if there's nobody out with one down. Maybe Spack just hitting away, but wait for Ziliani to deliver a strike first. That's another approach.
Yeah, she's been a little erratic here in this inning. She came back to get the strikeout in that first batter, but
yeah, Spack now looking at a 2-0 pitch. Grounds it to short, taken there by Krebs. They get one. at first and didn't feel like she was going to be able to get the lead runner.
Nah, she made the right move.
You don't see a lot of double plays in high school softball, but that one was hit so sharply, I thought maybe they would be able to do it. Then it takes a little bit for your second baseman to get over and cover the bag.
Right.
And
it's got to be just a hard one hopper. It's got to be almost like over the bag, and you step on the bag and throw it and don't even mess around with a relay.
Up to bat now, Sierra O'Neill. She bounces it to shortstop. Krebs has it there. Her throw across the diamond gets O'Neill to end the inning.
Krebs.
Yeah, that ball not really didn't have a lot of pace on it, so she kind of had to charge it.
Yep, charge and throw it.
Field it cleanly, and she did. And after 3 innings, still scoreless in our strikeout cancer game on the WBCB Sports Network. And we'll be right back with more high school softball coverage on WBCB.
Welcome to the capital of neurosciences at Capitol Health. The human brain and spine are very complex, and treating them requires a hospital that offers a combination of technology and specialists that are united by a single defining purpose, putting you and your family at the center of exceptional care. From brain tumors and spinal disease to strokes and aneurysms, if it involves the brain and spine, there's only one Capitol Institute for Neurosciences, and it's at Capitol Health. To learn more, visit capitolneuro.org. That's capitolneuro.org.
This is Angela Weiner for your Mercer County.
As the Robbinsville Ravens will send Haley Krebs up to bat in the top of the 4th. And who knows now, maybe Krebs can take the momentum from some good plays in the field and see if she can get something going at the plate. First time up, she smacked one to short. Ended up being an infield base hit.
We have our area's #1 softball expert, Rick Fortenbaugh, the Trentonian, just stopped by, and he informs us that Robbinsville is having some numbers problems this year. As a matter of fact, they have been a premier program in the state, but struggling a little bit with their numbers. So interesting to see how that'll play out.
1-1 count to Krebs. Yeah, I was talking with Brandon Garrett, who did some work on WBCB with Pennsbury baseball and football, and was at one time Pennsbury's pitching coach. Now he's coaching the Hopewell, or who the heck is it? New Hope Solbury football team over there.
Oh.
And the first year didn't have a lot of interest. Foul ball off to the left side, out of play. And now this year he said they increased their numbers, almost doubled them. And that's such a indicative of how much excitement there is within the school, how much recruiting that coach is able to do. And when those numbers are down, it eventually it takes a toll.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure does.
if you have supreme talent, maybe you can weather that storm. And certainly Robbinsville, you mentioned that feeder program and the great softball that's there, but 2-2 pitch just a bit outside to Krebs.
even that feeder program, they have not been going to the World Series and the regionals like they've been doing.
Right.
Still, dominating the district a little bit, but not on the bigger stage.
3-2 pitch, bounced up the middle off the glove of Walsh. And safe at first is Haley Krebs.
Well, Haley Krebs with her second hit.
Now batting number 10, Caroline Wall.
Both kind of the same. They just kind of smacked it, and the ball couldn't be handled. One was to the left side, one was to the right side.
Yeah, one too hot for the shortstop. That one a little bit too much for the second baseman. Now here's Walls.
Rick Fortmel telling us too that Paige Schultz will not be playing softball at Minnesota, if that's where she's going. But maybe she's going there, academic scholarship or.
The 1-0. Pitch is down low. You know, the other thing we mentioned, that transfer portal. You know, so many student athletes, they still carry that dream of playing at the next level, even if they're not recruited. And a lot of players will walk on to a program. Check swing out to left field, but right at Brooke DeWitt, who makes the catch on the liner, and Krebs stays at first.
He gave that a pretty good ride for a check swing. Yeah, they'll do that, and then they'll try to get in the port. You know, well, Dick Hoops Weiss, you know, the legendary college basketball writer, he put a tweet out today saying he feels sorry for those mid-major coaches that get a minor talent and develop them and make them a good player, and as soon as they do, they go in the portal and go to a better team.
Right, bail out in their junior year for greener pastures.
Yeah. You know, the lower level guy does all the work in building them into a good player, and then somebody else gets the fruits of their success.
A 1 count here to Ziliani.
It's trouble.
Sends that out to left field, and that lands a base hit. Krebs has to stop at second, though. Well played out there by Brooke DeWitt. Ziliani at first, 2 on, 1 away for Gallucci.
Yeah, I thought that might have got past her. She did do a really nice job of getting over there, getting the ball in quickly to keep this at first and second.
And I'm not sure where that was as far as the barrel of the bat was concerned, but it didn't carry quite as much as I thought it was going to.
No. That might have been part of the reason. It's just sort of dropped instead of hit and bounce.
Popped up sky high. Spack from center field coming in, but it's Pope at shortstop who will drift back just a couple of paces, catch it for the second out in the top of the 4th. And now up to bat is Katie Fowler. And this
now batting number 13,
Robbinsville
Fowler.
Opportunity here. Down to Fowler, who struck out looking her first time up.
That was a big out to get there. Furns at first, the second one out, you get Gallucci to pop out. She had looked unhittable there for 9 batters in a row, and then Robbinsville starting to push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah, Fowler takes a ball there, and second time through now that the top of the lineup is seeing Bonacci, and maybe seeing her a little bit better this time around. Ball 2, the call by home plate umpire Matt Grau. The 2-0 fouled off.
Uh-oh.
That's where you parked over there?
Right in the vicinity.
The other day had a high school baseball game where 13 batters were punched out by the home plate umpire. Were called the third
Called out
third
on
strike.
strikes?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The 2-1. That's a strike. Nice pitch there by Bonacci. Pulled the string. Fowler kind of frozen by that one. And now 2-2 the count. This time comes with the heater. Grounded to Walsh at second. She'll flip over to Schultz for out number 3 as Katie Fowler grounds out. And we're through 3.5 innings of high school softball in this strikeout cancer game tonight from HGSA. And tonight's game brought to you by the Italian People's Bakery, proud to support high school sports on the WBCB Sports Network. Check out their signature location, 63 Butler Street, and you drive by, smell that homemade bread made daily, or have them cater your next party or affair. The Italian People's Bakery, 63 Butler Street, the place to go for the best hoagies on Sunday afternoon and the finest dessert trays for your special get-together. Visit them again, 63 Butler Street in Chambersburg, the Italian People's Bakery since 1936. And don't forget, if you miss any of tonight's action, You can read all about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage that you can count on 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. Rich Fisher and Rick Fortenbaugh chit-chatting. We want to get this conversation on the air.
Already.
Well,
Rick was just telling me about the South Jersey pitcher that struck out 31 on Tuesday and lost.
wow.
What team was that?
That was Our Lady of Hard Luck.
Okay.
That's a tough.
Our Lady of Mercy, he said.
I was going to say Our Lady of Hard Luck.
But he brought up when Lisa Sweeney, the all-time great from Rancocas Valley, struck out 26 or 29 Spartans in a Central Jersey Group 4 title game and lost. Steinert won and went on to the state championship. I covered that game. I was never more thirsty in my life. That game went like 17 innings, and it was hot, and it was at New Egypt High School, and there was no water to be found anywhere. We were dying. Everybody was dying.
Izzy Benassi takes ball one from Ziliani, is back to action in the bottom of the fourth. Yeah, people were hearing about the Italian People's Bakery and the Trentonian, but they could have been hearing your regale them with your stories.
Regale us with our tales.
The 1-0, a called strike.
I don't think the Italian People's Bakery would appreciate that.
We got to spice up those ads. And
That's right, with some vinegar and oil. Somebody's got to score a run here, pal. We're in the mid-fourth, still scoreless.
popped up. Fowler at second, under it, makes the grab. One down in the bottom of the fourth.
Number 15, Paige Schultz.
And here is Paige Schultz.
Paige Schultz is playing first, but she's also a pitcher. And her only appearance this year, she pitched a no-hitter against Lawrence. Struck out 9.
You know, you never forget those games that are 17 innings long and on a hot day.
And I was just saying, I had to go to a viewing right from there. I had to change of clothes in my car, and I was changing in the parking lot at the funeral home.
Oh, my goodness.
Sweating. I walked in there like so disrespectful. It was just hot and dirty.
The 0-1, you say, I'm here to pay my respects. I say, well, go get a shower first.
I felt like saying, you're lucky I'm here. You'll be coming to my viewing tomorrow. And I felt like I was ready to pass out. Oh, was I thought not just me, everybody was just dying of thirst.
1-1 pitch here from Ziliani. And seemed like she pulled the string that time. Little off-speed action to Schultz.
Yeah, Lisa Sweeney just kept striking out batters, and Steiner's pitcher kept matching it. And Lisa Sweeney, now the Princeton University coach.
1-2 down low.
Yeah. Wasn't that her junior year, though? I'm not sure. Yeah.
What do you say, 540 strikeouts in
Her senior year.
2-2 up high, full count
She was amazing.
to Schultz. Tonight's game brought to you by the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. Hope you're with us at the end of the 5th inning, where you can again meet our adoptable pets of the night, Tinsel and Grim. Ground ball to third in the hole, picked there by Gallucci, and she gets her. Nice play by Gallucci at third. There's 2 down.
Yeah, and if Gallucci hadn't made that, that would have been too far in the hole for a shortstop to make that play. So that was either going to be Gallucci or nobody.
So bases empty with 2 down. Here's Katie Simonka.
Hodge? Oh, okay.
Proceeds from all the donations tonight, the concession stand, go to one of the Robbinsville Raven teachers battling breast cancer. And I was talking with Coach Levering about where the donations are going and stuff. And I don't know, there's something about that. There's a personal touch to that that's different than giving money to the American Cancer Society
Right.
or the ACA or something like that.
You know what? That's a great point. That really is a great point. When you know right where the money is going and you know who it's going to, it's great for you and it's great for them because they know who it's coming from. That's a really good point.
1-1 pitch grounded, and Gallucci has it at third base again, and she makes another nice play. Results in a 1-2-3 inning, and we're through 4 innings of high school softball on WBCB. No runs, no hits, nobody left on that inning, and we remain scoreless. And we'll let you know tonight's game brought to you. Oh, wait, nope. We'll be right back. Not the adoptable. Don't worry, not your turn yet, Rich.
Prosecutor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of our Mercer County student athletes the best of luck, and also urge parents to stay involved in your children's school activities. Extracurricular events are a great way to keep your sons and daughters focused, and it does not have to be athletics. They can be involved with the drama club, the school band, even the debate team. An involved student today has a brighter future tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and I hope you enjoyed today's game.
Trenton Thunder Baseball is back for its 30th year. Big League Futures, Major League Fun. Trenton Thunder tickets are now available. Single game tickets, group plans, suite nights. Get your tickets now. For more information, visit TrentonThunder.com. That's TrentonThunder.com or call 609-394-3300. That's 609-394-3300. Post-game fireworks nights, pork roll Fridays, and dog welcome nights throughout the season. Trenton Thunder Baseball, Big League Futures, Major League Fun. 1490 WBC.
All right, back here at the Hamilton Girls Softball Association, where we've got some high school softball action on WBCB tonight. Chris Ermer, Rich Fisher, Colin Summer doing our video engineering, Brianne O'Neill behind the camera for us. Great to have you checking out some high school softball as we're under the lights on a Friday night. And this is a strikeout cancer event. So 2 great teams, a great cause, and a bunch of great fans here tonight. Not just on our WBCB Sports Network, but some fans here.
A lot of fans.
At HGSA. Benassi delivers to Vice, gets the called strike.
I think we got another game coming up soon, too. Another Notre Dame game, I'm pretty sure. Softball. Always good. I like high school softball. It's always fun.
Swing and a miss on the 0-1. One of the things I like about high school softball is the crispness with which the plays have to be made on the infield. And
it's a fast game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will have Notre Dame at Robbinsville, Notre Dame Robbinsville on April 20th.
Okay. Are you with me on that one?
That's Mike Warren on the call of that game.
Ready? The Thinker.
The Thinker, yeah.
I liked your little meme
1-2
you put up.
Yeah, the Rodin sculpture, right?
Yes.
I was thinking of
that was perfect.
Mike Warren is the Thinker.
Yes. Well, he got that name because let's wait for this pitch.
1-2 coming from Benassi, up high to Vice, 2-2.
We came back on the air, and he didn't say anything for a few seconds. And I'm like nudging him. And he goes, I know we're on the air. He goes, I just like to think before I speak. So, well, you got me beat on that one.
The 2-2, off speed, check swing pop-up, and Mia Pope ranges over from shortstop and makes the grab. Was going to be a hard play for Sierra O'Neill, and Pope had a better view of it.
Yeah,
takes over and makes the catch.
A play like that, it's always like that. It's on the left side, it's always the shortstop's play, and on the right side, it's always the second baseman's play because they have the angle. They're coming over. They can see the ball better.
The only thing about that it wasn't really a high pop-up, so
yeah, she had to scurry over there. Yeah. Ooh.
Foul tip off the
somebody's
mask of Hassan. Was that Hassan who called it? You catch that one? Or was that the umpire? That was her, okay.
Now the Pilgrim interacting with the players now.
Addison Hassan just kind of
This is like
shaking off some of those cobwebs, I guess. She doesn't seem like she's bothered by it at all. But
no, she had a smile on her face. Well, look at you. We're going to mic these players up soon.
man, what do you think about that? Regular season baseball game, and one of my Philadelphia Phillies has a stupid microphone on and is talking to some broadcasters in a booth.
While
I'm
he's
starting
playing.
to get a little bit hot. Like,
Yeah, Trey Turner. I saw that against Texas, right?
it seems to be kind of a standard part of some like ESPN broadcasts, and they must talk to guys before the game and get them to agree to do it. And
Well, I'm waiting to see you guys screw up on it, and then that'll be the end of that.
you got to imagine that your focus is a little split.
I would think so, yeah.
The 1-1. I'm talking to a million Americans while also trying to play shortstop.
Yeah. My focus
but
is.
you know what? If we could do that with these players, let's do it.
Well, Addison Hassan, she's happy to interact.
Benaces 1-2. Gets her. Lopez rung up. 2 up, 2 down. Is that strikeout number 5? 1, 2, 3.
Now
4, 5, 6.
25, Reagan Robinson.
And now up to bat, Reagan Robinson. She was a strikeout victim her first time up.
That's her first one in a while. She'd struck out 4 out of 6 batters there in the second and third. Got none in the fourth.
Check swing strike.
Excuse my
So-
sniffing, Pilgrim. I'm fighting either a cold or allergies. I don't know which.
Well, the allergies, I don't know, the allergy pollen count or whatever
Yeah. It's
has
like a
been
gaz-
up.
Yeah, it's a
The other day, the
gazillion.
weather, they're like, it's perfect weather unless you have allergies.
Yeah. That's a big unless.
1-1 at the plate to Robinson. Well, both pitchers have been in command tonight. No score, and I don't think anybody's reached third base yet. Oh, yeah, Sierra O'Neal.
In the first inning. But didn't Robbinsville have somebody get? Oh, no, you're right. No, it was Steinert. Yeah, on the drop pop-up, then they got O'Neal got the third. Still, Steinert is still really struggling at the plate. We mentioned coming in, hitting under 300 as a team, and they do not. They have one no hits. They don't have a hit yet in this game.
Robinson that time takes inside, and here's Benaces 3-1. Bounced right back into the circle, and Benaces got an easy play to first. A 1-3 putout gets Reagan Robinson, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. Ravens set down in order in the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We're getting closer to our adoptable pet segment that comes up at the end of the inning.
End of the 5th.
Right now, I want to let you know the Hamilton Township Division of Health sponsoring today's game. They offer a variety of free services to keep you and your community healthy. It's important for everyone to stay up to date on recommended vaccines, whether you or a loved one needs an annual flu shot, a COVID-19 vaccine, a pneumonia shot. Hamilton's Division of Health is ready to help. Are you or a loved one homebound? The division's caring nurses will bring your vaccine to you. For families that might be underinsured or uninsured, the division offers free routine vaccinations for kids. Most residents in Mercer County are able to take advantage of the free and confidential STI and HIV testing clinic, and the staff at Hamilton Township Division of Health are experienced and proud to serve the Hamilton community. Visit hamiltonnj.com/health for more information, services, and upcoming clinics and eligibility. That's hamiltonnj.com/health. Stay healthy, Hamilton. And today's game also brought to you in part by the all-new Hyundai of Trenton at 1655 North Olden Avenue in Ewing Township, with cars in stock ready for immediate delivery. As we go to the bottom of the 5th. And it's a first pitch strike to DeMeglio. DeMeglio to be followed by DeWitt and Pope here in the bottom of the 5th, and something's got to give. No score yet as we get to the late innings in this strikeout cancer game.
Steinert has not had a base runner since one out in the 3rd. They got a walk. 5 straight after that. They've only had
the 1-1 popped to right, but hangs up there long enough for Aldarelli to get under it, make the catch.
24, Brooke DeWitt.
So with 1 away, bases empty, here's Brooke DeWitt, who popped to short her first time up.
DeWitt sporting a sleeveless shirt up there. Sleeveless look.
Well, again, a strikeout cancer game tonight, and popped up sky high and will drift over the netting and bounce off of the Ravens dugout. But these teams come equipped with the pink socks and the special unis.
Yep.
Both the Ravens and the Spartans sporting the pink socks. Spartans without their traditional green on tonight. They got the white and the pink. The 1-2. Looked maybe a touch low from here, but a called strike.
Yeah, I thought it. Yeah, I agree. A touch. 0-2.
0-2 delivery. And struck out. DeWitt there. Rung up. 2 down.
Now batting number 9, Mia Pope.
Got a text from Steinert basketball coach, girls basketball coach Kristen Jacobs, telling me that Mia Pope is indeed Jake Pope's sister, reminding me that Mia Pope is one of her better players on her basketball team.
That's great to know that people are listening, and at the same time,
I know Jacobs is missing me. She's listening to me. She texts me every time I'm wrong about something.
ball down low to Pope to start her at bat. Keeps you on your toes.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to sleep. She's keeping me on my toes.
1-0 pitch from Ziliani, lined foul down the left side.
We haven't even really seen good contact tonight against Ziliani. That was the first hard hit ball. Well, Paige Schultz hit a line drive to short in that first inning with his runners on first and third. Other than that, it's all been pretty weak contact. Soft contact, I guess you call it.
1-1 from Ziliani. A little late on that as it goes off foul on the left side. And Ziliani, she seems to be doing it with more of a power approach. But AC mixing up her speeds a little bit.
Took a little off of that one.
Yeah, a little bit of a off-speed delivery, and got Pope out in front of it a bit.
If you're getting them with your fastball and then you can pull the string on that changeup, you're in business.
So another 1-2 pitch. Ziliani just below the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mia Pope.
Steinert looking for something, anything. Really, both teams.
The 2-2 jammed her, and it's a little weak line drive that's handled by Gallucci at third.
At the end of 5,
she makes the catch, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. We are through 5 innings. And hold on a second, Rick. Rich has some important work to do now because this is our adoptable pet segment brought to you by the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. Still no score between Robbinsville and Steinert. High school softball on WBCB. But let's talk about Grimm and Tinsel.
Let's adopt a pet. Meet Grimm, not to be confused with Grin, which is what this sweet boy is always wearing. This friendly, affectionate, eligible bachelor dog is looking for a long-term relationship with a dog-experienced human. He's about 2.5 years old and is a short and stocky 70 pounds. Like most dogs, Grim would benefit from some training and exercise. But he's an athletic guy and he promises to keep up with you on hikes as well. Grim is looking for a home without small children and one where he is your one and only pet. He wants to be the show. So that's Grim, and then we have our cat Tinsel.
I heard that Grim is a Phillies fan.
Is that true?
But don't let that. If you're a Yankees guy, or you like the Mets, I know we got some cross loyalties here.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want there to be some friction.
All right, sorry about that.
Then we have Tinsel. Yeah, I'm on a roll. Then we have Tinsel, who is about 2 years old. She's a little shy at first, but curious about her surroundings. She'll need a quiet home where she can feel secure. But once she feels secure, she will come out of her shell, and you will have a little fun with her. So that's Grim and Tinsel.
That's great, and they're adoptable at the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. And we thank the Hamilton Township Shelter for their support of high school athletics and high school softball tonight on WBCB. And throughout much of our high school softball and baseball coverage, we'll have an adoptable pet segment, which is great and a lot of fun for us. And hopefully we'll get some forever homes for our adoptable pets. Top of the 6th, and for the Robbinsville Ravens, Jordan Grodzki leads off and sends that one foul on the right side and out of play. Grodzki to be followed by Haley Krebs and Caroline Walls, 9-1-2 for the Ravens in the 6th. Meanwhile, Benassi has been in control. This one popped up. Walsh calling for it and has it. One away.
It's safe to say this is a pitcher's duel, wouldn't you say?
Yes, yes. They've been dueling for 5+ innings now.
Yep.
18, Haley Krebs.
Something's got to give sometime.
And this sometimes can be when something gives. When the lineup flips. This is the 3rd time through now for Krebs, Walls, Ziliani. Maybe have they picked something up on Benassi? Bunt showed, pulled back, and Krebs takes high. (1-0) count. Also up 2-0 here to Krebs. You mentioned that Grim might be a Phillies fan. This Sunday for our Baseball Insider show, we're going to be at Sandy's Beef and Ale over in Langhorne, PA, from noon until 1. Tommy Green will be there talking Phillies baseball with Bill Werndell, the Loon. 2-0 pitch. Off the plate wide.
Oh, so you go on location when you're not at the
Yep.
at the Zen, as I like to call it, Citizens Bank Park.
We do a show at Sandy's this week. We're going to be at Puss in Boots later in the season. When we go down to the shore in the summer, we do some shows down at Keenan's. Ball 4 to Krebs.
Well, Krebs is on. Krebs has been the offense tonight. Krebs has been on all 3 times with 2 singles and a walk, and no other Raven has reached base.
Number 10, Caroline Walls.
And really, you do not want to be walking people now in the late innings of a 0-0 game.
I would think that Robbinsville going to try to get Krebs in motion.
I couldn't agree more. I think, watch her.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. Stopped in the circle by Benassi. Her throw to first. Not in time, or did it pull Schultz off the bag? Safe is the call, so first and second for the Ravens.
I think it pulled her off the bag.
Katie Ziliani.
She beat the throw.
Yes, beat the throw, infield single. All right.
First and second, and up to bat is Ziliani, but before that, they'll talk things over in the circle. We'll remind you that tonight's game brought to you by the Trentonian. You can read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. You can count on it 7 days a week. And after the game, join us for our Italian People's Bakery Player of the Game, as we'll pass along a gift certificate for a hoagie to the Italian People's Bakery and talk to one of the outstanding players from tonight's action. Ziliani takes a strike. Krebs at second, Walls at first.
Well, this is the best scoring opportunity that Robbinsville's going to have. Actually,
And Ziliani takes 2 strikes.
I misspoke earlier there, my friend. I said nobody else got on base. Ziliani's actually got a single in this game. She singled in the 4th, and they put first and second with 1 out.
Yep.
Same situation now that she's coming up in.
Takes high. Benacy maybe lost a grip on that pitch or something, kind of, or maybe it was a cross-up between her and the catcher. Afterwards, she kind of tapped herself on the chest. Kind of saying, my bad. Here's her 1-2. Called, 3rd strike. Get Ziliani.
That pitch looked unhittable. Kind of low inside corner, I guess.
And there's 2 down.
Now batting number 4
for Sorella Gallucci. That second out is so big because now opportunity for Benacy just to focus on the batter. And delivers a first pitch strike, and that one had some zip on it.
I'll tell you what, that one hurt my hand. when it hit her glove, I could feel it.
That's lined in the gap to left center. Off the glove of DeWitt. 1 run will score for the Ravens. They're going to send Walls, and she crosses the plate. A 2-run double for Sorella Gallucci.
Wow.
And you were talking about how we haven't seen good contact. That was laced, a laser beam out to the gap.
Now batting number 13.
Yep, she took a fastball, and then I'm not sure what that was. She came in with there, but she timed it perfect. Roped it into that left center field gap, and there needed to be a hero on offense in this game, and Gallucci is wearing the mantle of that right now. 2 big RBIs.
I mean, did she hit that line drive right to shortstop too? Was that? I mean,
no, she had struck out and popped out before.
Well, big RBI double for Gallucci. She's at second. Robbinsville celebrating in the dugout, now up 2-0.
Gallucci
But
hitting.
not yet satisfied as Katie Fowler could do some damage. Takes up.
Oh, yeah, you'd love to tack on if you can. Well, you called it, my friend. You said a lot of times when you flip the lineup that time, it could lead to something. And Robbinsville, in this game, that 2 runs counts as an eruption.
The 1-0 in there. It's been a pretty consistent strike zone, but I think the strike zone has been a little bit low. 1-1. Lined out to left. That's a base hit. Extra bases and another run for the Ravens as Fowler slides into second base. And Gallucci scores. It's 3-0. The Ravens on top of the Spartans.
I'll tell you what, they're not just getting hits, they're hitting ropes. They're really seeing the ball now and turning on it. Came into this inning with just 3 hits, and now they have 3 hits in the last 4 batters.
And now stepping up, catcher Abby Weiss. But before her AB, Steinert going to talk things over. And this is a point in a game where a pitcher really has to kind of bear down. You say, you had rolled through the first 5 innings tonight. Felt like you were keeping everybody off balance, and now 4 batters in a row, or what, 1, 2, 4 out of 5 batters have reached.
And she hurt herself, too, with that walk to Krebs. And, you know, Pilgrim, how many times do we say you walk somebody, it's going to hurt you? That's the first walk she gave up, and that also became the first run that scored.
3-0, Ravens on top.
We saw Steiner pitchers today give up 6 walks, or 11 walks, and 6 of them scored.
Foul back by Vice.
It looks like Rick Fortenbaugh's seen enough. He saw 3 runs, and he's gone.
He's probably doing some man-on-the-street interviews with this big crowd.
No, he's not doing that.
The 0-1.
He was thrilled
That's a
that I'm
strike.
covering this game, and he doesn't have to do it.
So now Bonacci in front of Vice. Maybe can work her way out of this top of the 6th. Not with that one. It's a little too high.
Well, it's interesting. You know, one person hits and starts to catch fire right on through the lineup.
The 1-2 high, ball 2. Back-to-back RBI doubles by Sorella Gallucci and Katie Fowler have the Ravens on top. 3-zip. We're in the top of the 6th. So only 6 outs for Steinert to work with. 2-2. Ground ball to short off of Pope. And she'll just have to hold it.
Yeah.
Vice is safe at first. Fowler moves up to 3rd.
Now
And with 2 down,
number 3,
Lexi Lopez up to bat.
Got to go E6 on that one, I think. So,
Ravens with a pinch
Robbinsville
runner.
still trying to tack on here. This is a little shocking because usually in a game like this, you're expecting the one team to scratch out a run, you know, in a 1-0 game. You're not expected to see a pretty much explosion like
Oh,
this.
geez, we got sprinkler action in right field.
Oh, jeez.
All of a sudden, the sprinkler pops on. I've seen this a few times. They're timed to come on at a certain time.
Right.
I don't know why they'd be timed to come on at 8:21. That's pretty random.
They're down. There they go.
First base for the Capitals,
Quickly remedied.
Reagan Robinson.
Nice job out there by Gia DeMeglio to stay dry. She ran over to the first base line to avoid the sprinkler action.
Now you got to make sure he doesn't slip on the wet grass.
Well, that was good. Sometimes the sprinklers pop on and nobody knows how to turn them off. So
Yeah, thank God somebody knew what to do. And we resume play now. Top of the 6th.
And Lopez in the batter's box. 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. First pitch swinging and fouls that one towards the
Towards
fishmobile.
the fishmobile again.
We need to have the sound effects where we get the shattering glass.
Yeah.
Boing.
Yep.
0-1 in there. And Lopez falls behind. Bonacci's 0-2.
Ooh,
Little off speed, but a little bit up.
I see Township Councilman Chuddy Whalen has a sponsor banner out there. Chuddy is Steinert grad. Class of, I think, 77.
The 1-2. Lopez strikes out. And the Ravens are finally set down in the top of the 6th, but they score 3 runs. They get those 3 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits. And we move on to the bottom of the 6th. Steinert trailing 3-0 in our strikeout cancer game tonight from HGSA. Tonight's game brought to you by the Italian People's Bakery. Join us right after the game for our Italian People's Bakery Player of the Game. Thanks to Saul Funeral Home as well, a fourth-generation family-owned business that proudly supports our community and has guided families in Mercer County when they need it most. Their caring, dedicated, and compassionate staff is always ready to go above and beyond to bring you the closure you deserve while celebrating the unique life of your loved one. Visit their website. They're at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Homes proud to sponsor today's game. They hope you're enjoying the action on WBCB. And for the Spartan fans, now they got some work cut out for this team as they trail it 3-0. Same kind of story, though, for Steinert. This is the third time through the lineup for them. Third time that they're seeing Katie Ziliani, and the top of the lineup, Bianca Walsh, will get to work as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
The difference is Robbinsville's been hitting this year, and Steinert has not been hitting. Steinert really needs to start busting out here a little bit.
Walsh takes strike 1. Walsh with a strikeout and a walk. Ziliani's 0-1. Fouled up into the net for strike 2. Walsh, Spack, and O'Neill here in the bottom of the 6th for the Spartans. The 0-2. Fouled away again on the left side. Yeah, and 3 runs can feel like no big deal if you have a team, the offense is really going, and even if you get into late inning situations, you still have confidence. But when your team hasn't hit well, you've been stymied for much of the night. This feels like more than a 3-run advantage in a certain regard.
Absolutely. So, yeah, when you're struggling at the plate, yeah, everything becomes magnified.
The 0-2. A
And
little wide.
Steinert is still looking for its first hit, so there's that.
That one didn't miss by much there. The 1-2. Tomahawked foul. The other day saw the Pennsbury Falcons throw a combined no-no, which was pretty cool, against the Ben Salem Owls. Game seen and heard on WBCB.
You like combined no-nos? I like when the person does it all by themselves.
Yeah, there is a part of me that says that doesn't really count the same. But
yeah, like that Astros no-hitter last year against the Phillies. That didn't even seem like a no-hitter. I mean, it was, but it was like, a bunch of guys did it.
2-2 from Ziliani. Popped up foul. Walsh battling here.
Mad Dog Russo went on a rampage the next day talking about you can't get excited about that like you did about Don Larson's perfect game.
Yeah.
But
2 balls, 2 strikes, and Walsh battling on the ground. Galucci has it at third and makes the play. Well, right now, Galucci is in the top spot for our player of the game. Not only does she have a big 2-run double, but she's been great in the field. I mean, that was one of those where you just put the glove down and the ball finds its way in there to some degree, but she's been solid.
Yeah, well, I think it's a tough call right now between Ziliani and Galucci.
Ziliani dealing in the circle, works to Spack and gets her to swing through that one.
That was a big cut by Spack. Trying to get all 3 runs back there on one swing.
Spartan dugout trying to pump up Spack. Ziliano winds, fires, and it's a bunt attempt that hangs up, but Robinson can't quite get to it as she charged it. Foul ball is back now with 2 strikes.
Good idea. I mean, you got to try to get on any way you can at this point. Steiner needs base runners, one way or the other. They have one person reach on an error, or 2 people reach on a walk, and that's been it.
1-2 delivery.
You're always ahead of that scoreboard. You said you said 1-2 delivery, but they're only one. It says 1-2 now.
Yeah, he didn't have that second strike up there.
Right, they just added that too.
A little late. It's a spinner. Robinson has it at first, and she'll take it to the bag unassisted. 2 up, 2 down. And up to bat is Sierra O'Neill.
23, Sierra O'Neill.
How about this, Pilgrim? Steiner has hit just 1 ball to the outfield tonight. Gia DiMeglio fly to right field. That is the only ball that has gotten to the outfield. So Ziliani is on target so far.
It goes back to your point about gentle, nobody's really been able to
Soft
square a ball
contact,
up.
yeah.
Soft contact, weak contact.
Now you got the sluggers coming up. O'Neill and Benassi. This is
Rips it, but it's foul.
Sierra turned on that one.
Sierra O'Neill reached on an error in the first inning, popped it up, and Ziliani couldn't make the grab. It got around to third. That's the farthest that any Spartan player has gotten so far tonight. Again, credit to Katie Ziliani in the circle. Righty winds and fires, and that's called third strike. Wow. Gets O'Neill looking and sets down the Spartans in order in the bottom of the 6th. That's a shutdown inning right there. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. And we are through 6 innings of high school softball. Robbinsville 7, Steinert nothing.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. This is Merrill Reese reminding you that Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township is more than just a great place to purchase a new Ford, Subaru, or pre-owned car or truck. Their collision and service centers services all makes and models and specializes in fleet service. Haldeman's Collision Center is renowned for their work. It's a state-of-the-art facility, all insurance accepted, free estimates and loaner cars available, and one of the friendliest staffs around. From small dents to major repairs on any make or model, it's Haldeman Ford Subaru Collision Center, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They're good! This is Merrill Reese reminding you.
Here at the Hamilton Girls Softball Association, it's a strikeout cancer game between the Robbinsville Ravens and the Steinert Spartans. It's been a good one tonight. Ravens getting 3 runs in the 6th inning. And they lead it 3-0.
For the Ravens, number 25, Reagan Robinson.
Reagan Robinson steps into the batter's box as we get the 7th inning underway. Robinson tonight 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a bouncer back to the circle. And she takes ball 1. Robinson with Grodsky and Krebs to follow.
You know, Robbinsville, they'd love to add to their
Ground ball, Pope has it, and the shortstop throws in time. Robinson is retired. And here's Jordan Grodsky. Grodsky with a strikeout looking and a pop out so far tonight.
Robbinsville with 6 hits tonight. The key is they bunched 3 of them along with a walk in the 6th inning, for 3 runs. And that's what you got to do, right, Bud? Bunch those hits. That's you're Bud.
Yeah, get some offense going.
That's
One of the things that Steinert we talked about earlier that they haven't been able to do. They've had some hits.
Well, not tonight they haven't.
Yeah.
Tonight they haven't had any hits, and they're really not hitting during the season. I mean, 257 as a team.
0-2 count to Grodzki.
They did have base runner. They had a 1st and 3rd tonight with 2 outs.
Ooh, didn't miss by much, maybe a little bit wide. It is weird, though, when a team doesn't hit, all of a sudden somebody, for Benassi, she gave up a walk, and that kind of opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
A base hit, 2 big doubles, swing and a miss, and Grodzki.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit.
Down.
Listen, you got to give a lot of credit to Caroline Walls for beating out that infield hit. I mean, she busted it down the line. They got a walk, and then she got the infield hit, and that kind of really set everything up because next batter struck out, and that was a big 2-out double by Gallucci, but that wouldn't have happened if Walls hadn't beat that out. Whoa, what a
slapped on a line, and Pope makes a diving grab. What? Oh, it came out of her glove?
She came out of her glove, and she threw her out while she was on the ground.
Wow.
Holy cow, what a play. Wow. Oh, you got to love that.
It would have been a great play if she made the catch.
Yep.
She dropped it just to hang with it and get the out.
That was
is pretty clutch.
That was an amazing play.
All right, so that ends the top of the 7th. Robbinsville unable to get any insurance. They still hold on to a 3-0 lead. And it's last chance time for the Spartans as they get to action. And for Steinert, going to be 4, 5, and 6 in their lineup, appearing against Ziliani. Tonight's game brought to you by the all-new Hyundai of Trenton at 1655 North Olden Avenue in Ewing Township. Thanks also to the Italian People's Bakery, proud to support high school sports on WBCB. Join us after the game with our player of the game, brought to you by the Italian People's Bakery at 63 Butler Street. Don't forget, you can read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. And we got some stuff coming up at the Hamilton Township School District. Their Tech Night is on May 16th from 5 until 8 at Crockett Middle School. Going to be a great event. It's free. You can see all the technology available in the Hamilton Township schools. Pre-register at htsdnj.org. Again, that's May 16th, the Hamilton Township School District Tech Night. More info available at htsdnj.org. And of course, tonight's game is brought to you by the Hamilton Township Education Association. And Izzy Benassi up to bat in the bottom of the 7th for the Spartans.
And Steiner needs base runners. Ziliani has retired 11 in a row, 11 Spartans in a row. And not only that, 15 of the last 16 Spartans she has faced. Only a walk to Bianca Walsh, the only smudge in that 15 out of 16 and 11 in a row.
Ziliani has been stellar in the circle and an opportunity to do something special as she delivers a first pitch strike there to Benassi.
She's getting that first pitch over a lot.
Benassi, Schultz, Simonka for the Spartans in the 7th. The 0-1 popped up on the infield. Krebs calls for it and catches it, 1 down.
This is, I mean, if you enjoy good pitching, she is putting on a clinic tonight, is Ziliani. Came into this game 3-1 with a 1.22 ERA. 32 strikeouts. And she's not a huge strikeout pitcher. She averages a little over 1 an inning. Tonight she has, what'd we say, 6?
And when you come in with stats that are that impressive and you can improve on them,
yep,
that's a good night. 1-0 count
no,
to
she has
Schultz.
5 tonight.
Whiffs on that one, a ball and a strike. Here to Paige Schultz.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, when you can lower stats like that, that's pretty darn good.
Wines fires low. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one is up.
Steinert dugout is loud. They're not giving up hope. You know, when you go to state finals 4 out of 6 years, 4 out of 6 seasons, your program is it's conditioned to win.
You learn to believe.
Yeah, you learn to believe, and it's conditioned to think you can win.
3-1. Lined left field and drifts foul.
That's about as close as they've come to getting one. I didn't see how far foul it went, but
like maybe 5-6 feet. It wasn't real close. It was slicing off the bat.
right.
So now a full count to Schultz. Payoff pitch. Fouled back by Schultz. A little too close to take, but might have been
Yeah.
up. Could have been ball 4 there.
Yeah, you don't want to get rung up, though. You're right.
Especially now, like you said, Steinert needs base runners to try to mount this comeback.
Absolutely.
Three-two. Grounded off the glove of Ziliani, up the middle, and safe at first is Paige Schultz.
And there it is, the first hit of the game for the Spartans. Off the glove of Ziliani, and she could have, if she just could have held on to it, she would have had time to throw her out, but it was hit a little too hard, went off the top of her glove, and an infield single for Paige Schultz.
Yeah, just a little bit too much bounce on that one.
Yeah, and that is the first hit of the game for the Spartans.
Well, I thought maybe I had the magic touch or something. I mentioned that we had a Pennsbury combined no-hitter the other day. And
right. Well, that was a
this
problem.
is my first game since then.
You said the word no-hitter.
I said no-no.
Oh, no, okay.
I said no-no. But
Keith Noonan would yell at us for that. He says there is no such thing as a jinx, and
I agree with him.
yeah,
I do. I subscribe to that school of thought myself.
The one thing I don't subscribe to is when a game is going fast, you don't say out loud it's going fast. And the point guard is agreeing with me over there. That is a dead way to slow that game down.
Yeah, I almost made that mistake in between innings.
Yeah, Mike Warren said it the other day. He goes, "Oh, this game's got great pace to it." We almost brought him to the ground and muffled him.
First pitch swinging, fouling it off is Samanka. Got DeMeglio in the on-deck circle. The Spartans still need one more on base to bring that tying run to the plate.
Yep. Ziliani's got a sort of, I guess she knew she had a no-hitter. You never know.
Ground ball through the legs of Weiss. And moving up, Schultz now at second base.
Well, in the big scheme of things, that's not a big deal, but in the little scheme of things, it is, because it takes away the force play at second now.
And for Ziliani, too, you give up that hit, but you still want to maintain a scoreless game. That's for sure.
You don't want to get like, and I don't even know. I don't even know if she knew she had a no-hitter or not, But if she did, sometimes if you do, it's a little deflating, and you have trouble maintaining focus. But she's ahead on the count here, 1-2.
A ball and 2 strikes. This is Ellie Miller at the plate.
Oh, okay.
Takes down 2-2 count.
Ellie Miller pinch hitting them for Katie Simonka. We apologize.
Two-two pitch from Ziliani, just a little low. That's right on that borderline that we've seen tonight. Close pitch, Ziliani runs the count full. Here's the payoff. Also down. And she walks Miller to bring that tying run up to bat.
That's a courtesy runner out there on second, too. Do we know who that is on second base? Have to wait to see until she
I think it's
turns around.
Mikolajczak.
Okay.
I think that's Riley Mikolajczak. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the only two subs that the Spartans had tonight were Miller and Mikolajczak.
Okay.
So they're on at first and second. There's one down in the bottom of the seventh, and up to bat steps Gia DiMeglio.
Well,
She's
Ellie
0 for
Miller.
2 with a strikeout and a fly out to right field.
Well, this is quite a change of
Ziliani sends that one in there, and it's sky high,
Out of
but
play.
drifts well foul, out of play.
quite a change in the scenario. We come into this inning seeing if Ziliani can get a no-hitter. Now Steinert brings the tying run to the plate.
0-1 pitch. Out to center field, fairly deep. Walls back and
Wow.
makes the catch just up against the fence. Having to go back to second base is Paige Schultz. That one nearly tied this game up.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, she could not have hit that ball better. Hit it to the deeper part of the park out in center field, left center field. She put a charge in that one, and I'll bet you Robbinsville's with a lot of gulps in the dugout when that ball left the bat.
Just a weird complexion to this game. Nothing happening for 5 innings. And then the 6th inning, the Ravens jump out for 3 runs. Now in the 7th, Steinert trying to come from behind.
I'll tell you what.
Nearly got a home run.
She was an inch away. If she'd have got another inch on that ball, on the bat on the ball, that ball was gone. Holy mackerel.
0-1 pitch to DeWitt. Ground ball to third off of Gallucci and safe all around. The Spartans keep the inning going. Brooke DeWitt at first. Miller moves up to second. And Mikolajczak at third base. Bases loaded. And the winning run now up to bat.
Oh, my. Mia Pope at the plate, the freshman shortstop. What a moment.
And now Ziliani's got to work her way out of a little bit of trouble. And her first pitch popped out of play.
Oh, that's big.
More than just a little bit of trouble. We got bases loaded. Get stuck up there?
We were going to send you up there, Connor. Climb up and get it. Show us your athletic prowess.
0-1 from Ziliani. Lined, but just a little late. And it's a foul ball from Pope.
Well, she's got the jump on her now, 0-2. She can do a few things.
And here in this 7th inning, not throughout the rest of the game, but in the 7th inning, the Spartans are finally starting to square up some of these balls and hit them hard. The 0-2. Down low, good scoop by Weiss. Great night tonight at the Hamilton Girls Softball Association. Steinert with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. A 1-2 count to Pope. Ground ball snared by Gallucci at third, and she'll tag out the runner. Miller tagged out as she heads to third, and that's the ball game.
How great is that? Gallucci makes that error on the play before, then lays out with a diving stop and was able to tag the runner in time. And wow, what was a nothing, like you said, a game that was a big nothing burger for 5 innings. Took on all kinds of thrilling aspects here in the last 2. And Robbinsville with a huge win for the Ravens. This is a 3-game stretch where they want to show what they can do, and right now they came up with a very big win tonight.
Some late inning drama, but the Steinert Spartans still unable to plate a run. A shutout win for pitcher Katie Ziliani as the Robbinsville Ravens improved to 6-1 overall. They dropped the Steinert Spartans to 3-2 and come up with a big win here on this strikeout cancer night at HGSA. All right, we're going to step aside briefly, and hopefully we'll be able to talk with, I'm going with Gallucci as our player of the game.
Yeah, she's
especially
good.
with the defense there at the end.
Yep.
Tags out the runner for the final play of the game, and she will get a gift certificate for the Italian People's Bakery. We'll see how long they chit-chat out there. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, to our crew here on site. Fish, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, Pilgrim.
It's been
Always
fun.
a pleasure. Good to be back with you, buddy.
Thanks to Colin Summer, our video engineer, and also to Brianne O'Neill behind the camera tonight. All of our sponsors, including the New Jersey Education Association, Haldeman Ford Subaru, the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, the Revere Restaurant, your Trenton Thunder, making portions of tonight's game possible. Thanks to the Hamilton Township Division of Health, the all-new Hyundai of Trenton, Saul Funeral Homes, the Italian People's Bakery, the Hamilton Township Education Association, the Trentonian, and we can't forget our adoptable pet friends and the Hamilton Township Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. All right, we're going to step aside and return, hopefully with our Italian People's Bakery player of the game, as Sorella Gallucci and the Robbinsville Ravens get the win over the Steinert Spartans. Back with more in just a little bit.
That Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township is more than just a great place to purchase a new Ford, Subaru, or pre-owned car or truck. Their collision and service centers services all makes and models and specializes in fleet service. Haldeman's Collision Center is renowned for their work. It's a state-of-the-art facility, all insurance accepted, free estimates and loaner cars available, and one of the friendliest staffs around. From small dents to major repairs on any make or model, it's Haldeman Ford Subaru Collision Center, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They're good! Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. Welcome to the capital of neurosciences at Capital Health. The human brain and spine are very complex, and treating them requires a hospital that offers a combination of technology and specialists that are united by a single defining purpose, putting you and your family at the center of exceptional care. From brain tumors and spinal disease to strokes and aneurysms, if it involves the brain and spine, there's only one Capital Institute for Neuroscience, and it's at Capital Health. To learn more, visit capitalneuro.org. That's capitalneuro.org.
This is a
Sorella Gallucci is our Italian People's Bakery player of the game. Congratulations on the win tonight. Interesting game, like not a lot going on until the late innings, and then there was a ton of drama.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that final play and they loaded the bases up and what was going through your mind before that one was bounced to you.
Yeah, so when there was only a runner on second at the time, second and first, and I had that one just grounder to me, and it took a little bit of a weird hop, came off my hand.
Right.
And, you know, I had made a mistake, and I know that Katie's been, like, putting her all out on the mound, and I'm basically just doing it for her and my team. And I was thinking just when that girl was up, I knew she was going to hit it to the left side, and I just need to keep it in the infield any way I can. And then once I got up, I just tagged the nearest player to me.
Yeah, when you make a mistake, you always want a chance to redeem yourself, and you got it on the very next play. That had to be a great feeling for you personally, I would think.
Yeah, I know that I made a mistake. I just had to fix it, and I was just lucky I got the opportunity.
Now talk about that double. I mean, you guys, nobody was hitting, and then you guys put some people on. What was the pitch that you hit, and what were you looking for? Just take us through the at-bat.
Yeah, well, a few of our girls have been hitting the whole time, like Haley, and I knew she got on with Carol and Katie there, and I was like, I need to get a big one here because I left the girls on a few innings back, and I was like, I can't make this same mistake again. It was a little bit of a low pitch, and I like those, and I like to pull them to the left side, and I just thought it was perfect. And my head coach makes me envision things before the game, and that's exactly what I envisioned. So.
Talk about the job Katie did tonight. She had a no-hitter. Did you guys know she had a no-hitter going into the seventh?
Yeah, our head coach pointed it out when we were in the huddle.
Really? You're not supposed to do that when you're a coach, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, in the huddle out there.
Yeah.
So she didn't tell us until the last second that she would have had one. But, yeah, that's what I mean when I say Katie puts her all out into the mound, and I just really – that's why I wanted to play my best for her and do all I could. You
guys are in the stretch now of you beat some okay teams, but not that great to start the season. Lost to a good St. Thomas team the other day. Now you got Steinert and Hunterdon Central. How big of a stretch is this for you, and how big is this win?
So this one is really big for us because we did have a challenge in St. Thomas Aquinas, definitely coming off of those other teams that we played in the beginning, and it showed how we could really play with our energy. And the St. Thomas Aquinas was a bit of a challenge, and it kind of woke us up a little for the next games that we have ahead of us.
Looking at what you saw from Katie tonight, what was she throwing? What was working for her tonight?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know, but I know that she has great spin, and she's like, I have all trust in her, and I have all trust in our pitch caller over there who has to sit right now. But I don't know, she throws whatever's working that night. It could be different.
Yep. But one more thing before we let you go, you guys were playing to support a Robbinsville teacher who's going through a tough time battling cancer. Can you tell me a little bit about the motivation that a strikeout cancer gives to your team, and maybe what you guys were talking about before the game to get you guys revved up?
Yeah, so this is for a very good cause, and have been like affected by it personally too, by one of my relatives. I had something to basically like go for and play for, and Steinert and Robbinsville is always kind of a competitive like rivalry. So we were kind of just here and like put our hearts on the field basically, just put it all out there and just try our hardest, all we can all ask for.
And it's a great cause. It was a great game. Congratulations on being our player of the game for your efforts.
Thank you.
A gift certificate to the Italian People's Bakery. You can get a hoagie over there.
Thank you.
On us. Enjoy that, and thanks so much for a little bit of time.
Thank you.
Sorella Gallucci, our player of the game tonight. Congratulations to her and to the Robbinsville Ravens on getting a 3-0 victory here on our strikeout softball night on WBCB. Thanks to Colin Summer doing our video engineering, to Brianne O'Neill behind the camera, and to Rich Fisher who helped with the call of tonight's game, and to all of our sponsors. And most of all, thanks to you for being with us out there and enjoying some high school softball tonight. One final time from HGSA, the Robbinsville Ravens 3, the Steinert Spartans 0. Thanks for catching some high school softball on the WBCB Sports Network.